Hey, what's up, everybody? Fred Kreidler, head coach at E3 Fitness, coming at you with another great exercise. This is a classic, a staple, one that everybody loves to love. It's the RDL. But, of course, we're going to put our little twist on it, okay? And one of our little twists on it is to help us get set up and to get into the right positions. One of the big things about doing the RDL correctly is that we've got to get a big stretch on the hamstring. So I'm going to show you against the wall how we do this, and then I'm going to use my friend the boxes to show you from the side view, okay? So this is a really big exercise to keep the shoulders back and the elbows pinned into the side, even though we're tipping forward. Okay, so it's a hip hinge movement. I'll show you briefly from the side what we're doing. Locking all this stuff in, going down and reaching way far back with the hips, keeping the shoulders pinned back. Now, it's really important that we get this upper body stuff locked in as well as doing things in the lower body. Basically guaranteed that if we do this right, our hamstrings and our glutes are going to fire. All right, we're going to put our mind on that, but if we do this right, those things are going to happen. Another thing that we've got to make sure happens to help that is that our upper body and all this stuff is tight. Because if we are here, we're not engaged through here, and our hips have nothing in the upper body to hold on to. One of the most common complaints when we do this exercise is my lower and my mid back gets a little tired. Well, I'll show you exactly why. When we're not locked in here, sometimes we'll arch too much, and that puts a ton of pressure on the low back, right in through here. And then all of a sudden, all we're really doing is kind of tipping over and flexing our spinal erectors and some other little muscles in there that don't want to do that. They want to just hold you upright. They don't want to do those big flexing movements loaded with weight. The hips do. And in order to get there, we've got to lock in our upper body to force this just into the hips. All right, with a tight upper body and a rigid core, we can force this to be something where only these muscles are being stretched out. There's a little bit of stuff happening on the top here, but this is supported here. This is supported by being strong here. Together as a network, they hold me all together. They compress the abdomen around the spine, and they keep my upper body rigid as I just pivot through the hips. Okay, very strong in here. So let me show you how we do this, okay? So I'm gonna pick up the weights, and to make sure that we get our setup right, we're gonna use a little trick. Now, everybody's a little different. So we're going to use your feet. We're going to line them up, one foot in front of the other, and then step out to about hip width. We don't want to be out wide. We want to be right in here, lined up. We're going to pull our shoulder blades back and down, lock everything in, and as soon as we get to parallel, our hips are hitting the wall, and we're squeezing the hips and hamstrings on the way up. Tip over, hit the wall, right as you get to parallel, hips and hamstrings on the way up. Let's watch from the side so we get this good angle stuff going. All right, so I'm going to start here, step it out, get my footwork right, shoulders are back, keeping everything neutral, hit the box as soon as I get to parallel, squeeze it up. I'm getting a big stretch on the hamstrings, which means I'm getting into the hamstrings. I've got my upper body rigid, locked in. The only things that are moving are right in my hips, right through my pelvis. All right? So that's the RDL with a step off the wall. It's a great exercise, a classic in the strength. You can see why. We use this in our strength lower class a lot. And it's a move that it's not just the hips and hamstrings. It shows you really how the core is the system of the body and not just like abs and crunches and stuff, but the whole thing working together to support your body through proper movement. So this is the RDL. It's a classic. It's a favorite. And I'm looking forward to seeing you around soon.